Hi, everybody. I'm Casey Kohler, Campus Liaison Officer for the New York State Senate and New York State Assembly internship programs. We're going to go over the UAlbany intern reminders and expectations as part of our required internship in-service program. This is only one of the required portions. There are 3 other presentations that you will participate and engage with. Please note that part of this will require you to answer 3 or 4 questions after each presentation. Those are required, and if once you complete, you will be given your permission number to register for the 15 credits. Let's dive in. So just a few friendly reminders. You're still a student at the University at Albany. You have to adhere to all University at Albany Student Code of Conduct, community rights and responsibilities. We are also still involved in and experiencing the global COVID-19 pandemic. Follow UAlbany COVID-19 guidelines on campus if you happen to be on campus at any time. That includes submitting vaccination status and or adhering to any mandatory pooled testing that may occur in the spring semester. You also must make sure you follow and adhere to any guidelines at the New York State Senate or Assembly regarding COVID-19, which does require mask wearing at all times within a building. So for UAlbany, we have a few expectations we wanted to make sure you were very clear on. You are required to stay connected with us. That means you still have to check your UAlbany email account. I know that the Senate and Assembly will give you a New York State email. That's fantastic, but you still need to connect with the University of Albany community to ensure that you are hitting any deadlines and dates that are required in order to graduate, register for future classes, and participate fully in our campus community. We will be sending regular communications, so we ask and require that you respond to us in a timely manner. These communications will most likely come via email, but may be sent in other manners to ensure that we are in regular contact with you. You are a professional representative of the University at Albany, so please make sure that you represent yourself in the best possible manner. It's not just our reputation that is at stake when it's us as an individual. You're representing all current and future UAlbany students that may want to engage in this internship program. Please represent yourself professionally at all times. You also must complete the required internship placement side of things. That means the 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and fully completing your academic requirement. At the end of the day, I enter your grade. If you have not successfully completed the academic portion, or you have not met the minimum requirements for your workplace setting, you may not pass the internship. That means you may not receive your 15 academic credits and may have to repeat 15 credits in a future semester. Make sure you meet both expectations. We also expect interns to engage in the required orientation trainings for the Senate or Assembly. Both dates are listed as they have been expressed and communicated to us for accepted interns. Please clarify on any dates with the Senate or Assembly to ensure you are arriving in Albany in a timely manner. For the Assembly, the internship orientation will begin on Monday, January 10th. You must be present to participate. That means in person. Senate will begin their trainings on Thursday, January 20th. Please note that this is after the Assembly. If you need to be in Albany before the 20th, make sure you are doing so on time. And same for the 10th. Part of this might be we're securing your on-campus housing if you are living in residence in a building owned and operated by Residential Life at the university. This is really specifically for the Assembly interns only in terms of returning to campus before the semester begins, because you have to be back 10 days before classes start. You'll have to work directly with Residential Life to secure your winter housing. If you need any information to validate or confirm your participation in these internships, please contact me directly, Casey Kohler, and my email is ckohler@albany.edu. If you do work on campus in any capacity, that means Res Life, things like that, you might also have to complete a dual employment form. please connect with the Human Resources Office at the University of Albany and confirm with your Senate or Assembly internship director on if you need to complete this form. Please be sure to do this in a timely manner because it could impact your stipend pay. I also wanted to go over a few things on professional attire. This ties in directly with your professional representation, but we want to make sure we are upfront and forthcoming with what we know about these internships and their attire requirements. All men are required to dress in a coat, so a dress coat, sport coat, blazer, suit jacket, any of those items are required if you are to enter the Senate or Assembly chambers. We are unsure at this time how frequently students will be entering the chambers, so always make sure you are prepared just in case you are invited onto the chamber floor. We really recommend that you start building out your professional attire closet now. It takes some time, and not everybody always has everything right on hand. So during the winter session, please make sure you're starting this process. Don't buy everything all at one time unless you find a really great sale. But you can always start building and then add new items as time goes on. Observe what the people around you are wearing. That means the office staff in the Senate or Assembly member's office that you'll be working, or others that you're engaging with on a regular basis. We do recommend starting to have mix and match coordinates. So a few key bottoms, pants, khakis, slacks, skirts, if you so choose, key tops that you might want to wear. So do recommend structured attire. So button downs, collared shirts, for female identifying students, blouses, and make sure you can coordinate it with other options as well. Make sure you also have comfortable and seasonable footwear, flats, dress shoes, high heels if you want to, but be aware that your Senate or Assembly member may not have an office within the New York State Capitol building. So you might be walking from a different location occasionally to get to different parts of your internship. Please make sure you take that into mind because you will be starting in January and there will most likely be snow. So by completing this internship in service with the University of Albany, we are entering everybody who completes it on time. So by our deadline, you'll be entered to win one of 4 $50 gift cards to TJ Maxx or Marshalls. This will help you build out some of those professional clothing items that might be cost prohibitive. We want to do everything we can to support you in procuring and purchasing those items. You can also check out other local and online retailers. We do have UAlbany Purple Threads. It is open during the academic semester. So if you've already been accepted and you can get there before the semester ends, after when finals end, please be sure to do so. You can also check out online retailers, Poshmark, Mercari, ThreadUp, as well as local secondhand retailers. You always can find great deals, and a lot of times you can get items that are new with tags at a deep discounted price. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to support you. You can email our entire team at ugr@albany.edu. So just wanted to go over a few examples of students within these settings where they're wearing professional business casual type clothing. Pops of color are always great. So if you really have a favorite color that makes you feel comfortable and confident, go for it. Be mindful of things like length, fit, whatever you're doing, make sure you're comfortable in it because you will be moving around quite a bit. It's not really as much of a sedentary role. So if you're going to be jumping up and down, moving things around within your office or walking back and forth, be very aware of how your clothing fits because nothing more uncomfortable than walking in a pair of shoes that are too tight or too big, a jacket that doesn't fit or it's not zippering correctly, things like that, especially if you have to go outside during the winter in upstate New York. These are just some examples of attire that we recommend you use as examples. We also have students right here that are all wearing different forms of suits. A lot of them are on the more muted side, blacks, browns, grays, some navy blues, but it's okay to add a little pop of color and be unique, show your personality. Like the young woman on the screen in a white suit with a graphic top. That's great. She looks incredibly professional and stands out in a crowd. That's totally fine. It's whatever you feel most comfortable and confident in that will help you be successful in your internship. And just another quick one, as we mentioned, in order to go onto the floor in the Senate and Assembly, you have to have a sport coat or jacket. As you can see, many of even the female identifying students in these pictures are also wearing some form of jacket, cardigan, blazer, things like that to highlight that professionalism. Please be aware that it runs the gamut. It's never definitive, but we encourage you to avoid extreme trends when it comes to your attire, because you are representing the university and yourself, and many students have been able to secure full-time employment off of these internships. This is a great time to test the waters as a professional. So we do want to go over a few expectations on skills. You're going to be bringing your current skills that you already have. Start thinking about those. On the next slide, we have a few questions that we'll ask you. You're going to start strengthening those skills in this internship program, and you will also start learning new skills and be able to directly apply them in a professional setting. Some common areas of skill development that you might want to think about that you'll be able to develop and refine during this experience is your initiative, verbal and written communication, research and analytic skills, presentation skills, creativity, and problem solving. This is just some common areas, not all of them. So think of 3 things that you're bringing with you to this internship. You've all been successfully selected to participate against a very competitive field of applicants, not just from UAlbany, but across the state of New York. Be mindful of what you're bringing to the table. What are your assets and how can you bring those to the front of the situation every single day, especially on day 1? Some things to start questioning and thinking about. Are you great at working with teams? If not, this is an area you can develop. Do you consider yourself familiar with Excel? There will be some data management, and that could be communication channels. It could be numbers. It could be any number of things. Be aware, and if this is an area you need to develop, there are great resources available. Can you communicate with different audiences and utilize different communication channels for that communication? Whether it's in person, on the phone, via email, you will be asked to refine those skills, and it's a great way to continue to develop as a professional. One of the big things that we've heard several times during our info sessions from interns is that you will be doing research, not just as part of the academic component, but as part of your day-to-day operations. You'll also be asked to write reports. If this is something that you are very strong at, be sure to highlight that for your supervisors. One last thing, what can you bring with you on the first day of work? That's a skill that you have that you really want everybody to know about. Talk about it, show it, and refine it over this internship experience. This is a great way for you to really shine and get the experience that you need in order to advance as a professional. Some key contacts we wanted to make sure you're aware of. At the end of the day, I would be your first point of contact. If you don't know where else to go, you don't know who to ask, please contact me directly via email, ckohler@albany.edu. I check my email regularly, and if I can't respond, I will be able to get you in touch with the correct person who can assist you. Some other key contacts we want you to be mindful of and continue to communicate with when and if necessary. Your academic advisor, UAlbany Student Health Services, UAlbany Counseling and Psychological Service, CAPS, UAlbany Middle Earth, Sexual Misconduct and Title IX, Off-Campus Student Services, and Community Standards. These are all offices that we want to make sure you are aware are still here, even though you are experiencing and doing this internship off campus. Just because you aren't physically on campus every day doesn't mean you're not a UAlbany student. We are here for you, and we want to support you in your success. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm going to go back to the key contacts one, ckohler@albany.edu. I'm here to help and support you, and we look forward to helping celebrate your successes along the way.